Hi, and welcome to the Theme Park Duo podcast. Grab your park map, churro, and hop in line with us as we take you on a coast-to-coast adventure through the world of theme parks, haunts, conventions, and more. Now, here's your hosts, Nikki and Gabriel.
Welcome back, everybody, to another fantastic episode of the Theme Park Duo podcast. The people who love to hear theme park news, the people who are theme park fanatics. These people are the ones listening to the show and look to us for the wonderful information.
That was way too epic of an intro. There's no way I can match that next time.
Well, there needs to be like a dun bum bum or something that needs to happen behind me as I say it to really make it epic. Barguja! I don't know, that's just my sound effect of intenseness.
Apparently.
And nobody can see me, but I'm doing a really epic hand motion, like I'm fist pumping in the air as I do it.
Yeah, like freeze frame. Like he's like, like Anchorman where he jumps and
buy new suits? Yeah,
like that. That's the motion he did.
Well, anyway, my name is Gabriel, and I'm joined by my lovely wife, Nikki.
I thought you were going to say my name.
No, you're supposed to say it.
No, well, you were obviously getting towards saying my name, so I just waited for you to say it.
She just awkwardly stared at me with a smile on her face.
I am Nikki.
Anyway, we're here today to talk a lot of fun theme park news, as usual. Our topic today are Nikki and I's top 5 closed attractions. So things that we grew up with. So the stipulations were, for us at least, they were going to be Southern California based, right?
Yes. So attractions that are now closed that we loved, that we miss, that even if they are open still somewhere in the world, if they're not open in Southern California anymore, we miss them. We can't go to them all the time. So they were allowed to be on our list.
Yeah. So they're mainly Southern California rides that are no longer around for us, and we usually think of when we go to these parks, and they're quintessential attractions that we believe should still be there, or the ones that we just really, really just miss in general.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of things that came up. Like, the more I thought about it, the more I was like, oh my God, this ride. Oh my God, this show. Oh my God. It just...
Yep.
It was like steamrolled. It just kept going. It just came out of my head. So, I mean, I have my the top 5. They're not going to be in any particular order.
Yeah, they're random.
They're random, but they are the top ones that I could think of that if I had a choice, I'd bring back immediately. Yeah, for me, at least.
We each wrote a top 5, and we haven't discussed that 5 with the other person yet. So we might have duplicates. We're not sure. You'll find out when we find out. That
is true. I truly believe that we have at least one that is similar. Just one. Just one. Just by looking at my list, because I went kind of different with my list with things that I like.
Yeah.
Things that I have nostalgic feelings towards that I know that you don't.
Okay.
Because you're cold and heartless and don't have emotions.
Hey.
Oh, so you do have emotions.
I do. I'm really sad now.
Well, you're beautiful and wonderful.
Oh, okay, I'm better.
Okay, good. Anyway, we have a lot of news to get to. How about we just jump right into it? The Theme Park Bulletin.
Okay, so our first bit of news is Universal Studios Hollywood news, and it is that the Wizarding World of Harry Potter is getting a nighttime light projection show on Hogwarts Castle.
Now, this is something that you're unbelievably excited for.
I'm pretty darn excited. And it's like, this is the first kind of nighttime thing that Universal has.
That's true. It actually is one of the very first things. I can't quite confirm that because I haven't looked it up, but I don't believe that there's been a lot of nighttime things at Universal.
Historically, at least for Universal Studios Hollywood, it's like a park that closes early.
It's always closed pretty early.
8 or 9. Like it's like in the summer it goes later. But
I mean, until Hogsmeade showed up, until the Wizarding World showed up, the park usually closed pretty early. But now they keep it open just because the nightlife and the nighttime atmosphere of Hogsmeade is so special.
Yeah. So
and now we have this coming.
Yeah. So they didn't really have a need for a nighttime show before, but it's pretty cool, and I'm pretty excited.
So we've been waiting. We've been waiting a long time for something like this to come up. It just reminds me of Harry Potter Sirius Black, where he's like, "I've done my time."
7 years of it. In Azkaban! That's been stuck in my head all day. Gabe just totally set me up so I could say it on the air.
7 years of it in Southern California. I've been waiting for a nighttime show at Universal. So pretty much that's just what's in our head.
Yes.
But and then our next piece of news is some quite big news coming to EPCOT here. And just today we found out about this, is that permits applied were filled by the Walt Disney Company seeks to approve to fill in the canal and pave part of the forest directly behind Universal Energy on the eastern edge of EPCOT parking lot. Plans maps show that roughly 1.2 million square foot project area includes the attraction within its boundaries. According to drainage design documents, the purpose of the project is to provide a more contiguous area for possible future changes for parking capacity and back of the house areas. So it sounds like they're planning for a new attraction, but they're not having set it. They're just setting it up for the future. So there is a ticking clock possibly on Ellen's Energy Adventure.
Oh, no.
Oh, no, please, goodness gracious, no. Oh, my God, I'm so sad.
If that goes, I don't think it would make our list.
That's true. I don't think it would make our list. But at least we're going to be able to write it one more time. So
yes.
Another piece of big news coming out of Orlando is Sesame Street is getting a new themed land at SeaWorld, and it's supposed to open in fall of 2022.
That's a little weird.
Why is that weird? They have a themed Sesame Street area already.
I didn't know that. I've never been to SeaWorld in Florida, but it's like, I don't know. What did they just say? This is a fish. Fish.
Well, could you tell me that you wouldn't be excited if they built a fully immersive street that is Sesame Street, where you have like a meet and greet with Oscar the Grouch that's off in some alley and he comes out of a trash can. You have Big Bird. You have all those iconic characters from Sesame Street that we grew up with. I mean, honestly, that I got a little excited thinking about that. Why wouldn't you get excited to take a picture with Big Bird, you know?
Okay, I would get excited to take a picture with some of those puppets characters.
Like there's Elmo and Cookie Monster and all them. The Count. Yeah. You want to count with Count? Count with Count numbers?
Okay, it's kind of exciting, but I just don't see the connection between SeaWorld and Sesame Street.
They could teach you about fish.
They both start with the letter S.
For Sesame Street.
And SeaWorld. I'm just saying, it seems like an odd, It
is a weird mix.
Yeah.
But because SeaWorld is, well, with its attractions, it's mainly an educational park.
Yes.
So it kind of makes sense to have an educational brand alongside of it.
Okay, I'll give you that.
You didn't think of that, did you?
No, I didn't.
Oh!
He likes proving me wrong.
You like proving me wrong?
I do. We're both very competitive. It's an issue sometimes.
There's a sense of accomplishment when we prove each other wrong. It's like, ha-ha! I told you.
A little bit.
Yeah, pretty much.
But then we better not say I told you so, because then the other person gets hurt.
I told you so.
Hey. It's okay.
Moving on. This is my little favorite part. Now we're getting into it. It's going to happen more often as we go down the timeline. It's time for Haunting Headlines.
Okay, so this is exciting news that just broke last week. And it was hinted at before because it was leaked information. But now it's official that The Shining is coming to Halloween Horror Nights on both coasts.
Yeah!
Yay!
So what's big news about that is the fact that there was this huge rumor going around that there was not going to be a shared IP on both coasts. That everybody was going to, like Universal Orlando and Universal here in Hollywood, we're going to have completely separate, different mazes.
Well, that was fake news.
Alternative facts,
it was an alternative fact.
No, but I'm actually quite excited because now we get to experience Hollywood's version as well as experience Orlando's version. I think that's going to be a really fun comparison.
Oh, yeah. Oh, by the way, did we mention that we're going to Orlando in October?
A bajillion times.
We did?
A bajillion times.
Just wondering, because we
literally, we have not stopped talking about it.
We've referenced it this episode at least 3 times already, so...
We've said it a lot.
Yeah. Okay, so yes, we are going to experience both mazes, and I'm super excited. I love The Shining.
My only request is that there's the blood elevators. That's all I want. If anything is done, that's all I care about. That just has to happen.
Creepy twins, and I want the hedge maze.
I'm pretty sure that's going to happen.
Yeah.
It's such an iconic moment, and it's an environment because Universal's so dedicated on environments, and that's why how they choose their movies. So, what's better of an environment than the hotel, blood-soaked like hallways, as well as a cold snow environment?
Yeah.
That's the hedge maze. I mean, we've had mazes like Krampus that have been in the snow and cold before, so I mean it's nothing out of the ordinary.
What if, okay, I'm pitching an idea here. What if for one section of the maze we all have to ride like adult-sized big wheels? Oh my gosh.
Like alone down hallways.
One at a time. Yes, it will cause a big backup in the line,
but it would be worth it.
It'll be worth it.
It will have a blast riding big wheels.
Just have like five hallways that are exactly the same and just send like 5 people down them at a time.
I feel like that's a recipe for disaster.
I want to ride a me-sized big wheel.
Then I will buy you one.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Also recreate the hallway from The Shining so I can ride down it.
Okay, maybe.
Like literally it just has to be a square and I'll just keep going around like repeatedly.
She's looking at me genuinely here, like this is really what she wants.
I just thought of it and it sounded so cool.
I guarantee you the sequence where we see the Grady twins, and they're gonna be like massacred to bits and or just standing there at the end of the hallway. It's gonna be a scrim screen with them right behind it.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be lit from the front, so it just looks like a normal hallway, and then it's gonna go away and they're gonna be standing there.
Yeah.
It's gonna be one of those effects. We know it 100%.
Yeah.
Because they've done that before. Pretty sure they've done that in Halloween. To kind of show him appearing and disappearing behind the hedge and stuff, or in other portions of the attraction.
Maybe. I don't remember, but probably.
I don't know. But I'm unbelievably excited. I can't wait to hear the iconic music and noises, and maybe there's going to be a bear in there doing something weird to a guy in a suit. Who knows? But that brings us to the end of our news, and we're jumping right into our segment of the top 5 closed attractions that we miss so dearly. Nikki, do you want to go first? Because I kind of want to let you go first because I'm actually really interested. I feel like you can predict me really easily. Like, you know me so well that you probably know what's on my list, except for maybe 1 or 2. But I'm actually genuinely interested to hear what you have chosen, which I'm almost guaranteeing you I know for sure one of them, because it involves a very sad story.
Yes, okay. That's not the first one on my list, though. That's somewhere in the middle.
And these aren't in any particular order.
They're not in order. Okay, but
you have to share the sad story.
I will share the sad story. Okay, so the first one on my list is from the same park, though.
Oh.
I really, really miss Back to the Future.
That's the one that I knew we were going to share.
Yeah.
Because that is on my list as well.
Okay, so then we can just both talk about this one. This is on both of our lists. So I really miss Back to the Future. And nothing against Simpsons.
Simpsons is fun.
Yeah.
It's fun in its own right, and the IP is fun because it's something that's been in pop culture for a very long time.
Yeah.
And I don't have anything against it either.
But it's just every time I'm on Simpsons, I'm like, why aren't you Back to the Future? I miss it so much, and it's so... I have so many memories riding that and, like, bringing family members from Ireland for the first time, and literally out of the whole park, we're like, okay, what do you want to do again? They're like, I want to go Back to the Future again. Like, they were so excited to, repeatedly go on that, and I just miss it.
I just feel like if you were to ask a person, would you rather be in the world of Back to the Future, or would you rather be in the world of The Simpsons and get to experience those? I feel like a lot more people would choose Back to the Future, and it's not even necessarily because Back to the Future's intellectual property supersedes or lasts longer than The Simpsons, because very much The Simpsons has been around forever.
Oh, yeah.
It has cemented itself in pop culture. That's not saying that Back to the Future hasn't either, but I just feel like the appeal of Back to the Future is significantly stronger to experience that. Who doesn't want to ride in a DeLorean? Who doesn't want to work with Doc Brown side by side? Who doesn't want to catch Biff? Who doesn't want to just go back in time and experience these really fun bits of history?
Yeah.
You get swallowed by a dinosaur, for goodness sake.
And it's something about having... Like, Simpsons is animated. Simpsons has always been animated. Okay, now I'm watching The Simpsons in a theme park. But it's like, there's something so special about going into your favorite movie. You know, like going into a movie, seeing the characters, them interacting with you. You know, it's different when it's live people, humans.
I think that was one thing I was going to touch upon after you were done, is that I think there's a big difference because one's an animated television show, one is live action, and I feel that is more tangible. And even though it's about time travel, which is completely impossible as of now, it feels more tangible, and it feels a lot more real. And it feels like something that you could actually experience. So you connect to it a lot more.
We're not yellow.
And then also the music. Oh my goodness, how could you not love the classic Alan Silvestri score that he did for the film? You get to hear that. You get to hear Doc Brown's voice. You get to hear all that fun stuff. It's missing Marty.
Yeah.
And you're missing the Institute of Future Technology as well.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's a lot of little bits.
Just getting in a DeLorean, it's so cool.
I remember when it closed. I was there probably a week before it closed. I was visiting with my brother and my sister. And it was when they had the DeLorean outside, and then they had the clock that was counting down. So it was the clock tower clock counting down to when it was closing. And we went on the ride, and the speakers were not working. Like, I think at this point they just
gave up.
They gave up. It's gonna close. If it's broken, just don't fix it. And I couldn't hear anything Doc said. Aww. I couldn't hear anything Biff was saying. You could hear it because it echoed in the dome, but you couldn't hear it in your car. So, like, I complained so hard after that they let me ride it again in a different car.
Nice.
So I got to ride it twice, and as we left, I teared up.
Yeah.
Like, I got really sad because it's one of my favorite movie franchises.
Yep.
And when it's attached to an attraction that you have such a strong connection to, man, then my hands went up and I was like, I'm tearing up. Like, I can't handle this. You're going to have to console me if Indiana Jones ever closes, because I'm going to sob. I'm
dreading the day. I'm dreading that day. So
no, it's not going to be fun. It's definitely not going to be fun. But that's a very good start to this list. We definitely share that one.
Yeah.
So I'll go with the next one. That chops one off of my list already.
Okay.
You know what? Then I'll go with something really, really different.
Okay.
I'm going to go with one of mine on my list is Kingdom of the Dinosaurs at Knott's Berry Farm.
Okay. I never had the pleasure of riding this.
Yeah, this was one of those attractions that I grew up going on when I went there, and it wasn't that it was anything unbelievably special or high tech. It's mainly on the list because of the really fond memories that I have going on it with my brother, my family, and friends. And it was just fun. Yeah. It wasn't something that you went on because you wanted a thrill. You just cool off, relax. I have fond memories of seeing the animatronic scientist right before you go into the time machine, and he barely moved, and it just looked kind of janky a little bit. And you go back in time, you see all the dinosaurs. Sometimes they had Knott's employees standing there making sure people weren't making babies in their cars.
That ruins the immersion factor of the ride. Just like, oh, dinosaurs. Oh, Knott's employee.
What kind of dinosaur are you?
What kind of dinosaur
Employeesaurus. But yeah, so this was definitely on my list just merely for that.
Yeah.
And it was really sad because when it closed, it just sat there and rotted.
Yeah.
And for an attraction,
they didn't take anything out, right? It was all just sitting in there.
It was all still there. So there was pictures of the dinosaur skin rotting off of them and falling apart.
Oh,
and the scientists messed up. And I'm pretty sure like employees went up there and just vandalized it, or people snuck in and vandalized it. So it just sat there. And for something that I had such fond memories of, to know that everything still existed in that building and not being able to go look at it, it hurts so much.
Yeah, it's probably an extra punch in the gut knowing that it was just being neglected like that.
Yeah.
They could have auctioned that stuff off, or, given it to someone who would have taken care of it and preserved it. But they just didn't have any value in it and all just left it in there. Yeah,
and that's really, really sad.
Yeah.
And when they started to build Voyage to Iron Reef, all those doors opened up and you could see the original mural that was on the back.
Uh-huh.
And people started really talking about the Kingdom of the Dinosaurs again. And, inevitably, when that comes up, people start talking about Knott's Berry Tales, which originally housed that or what was built in there before Kingdom of the Dinosaurs. But for me, it's more of an attachment to Kingdom of the Dinosaurs. It was such a fun attraction to cool down on. And Voyage to Iron Reef is a very fitting, good place to go to fill its footprint.
Yeah.
It's fun. Time to cool off. It's a little bit more thrilling. I think at the time, King of the Dinosaurs definitely fit, but man, I missed that ride. Especially during Haunt, they could do some really fun stuff.
I'm sorry, I never got to ride it.
It's your fault.
Sorry.
All your fault.
Well, the next thing on my list is a show. It's not a ride. It's at Disneyland.
Ooh.
Honey, I Shrunk the Audience.
Oh, this didn't make my list. That was one of the things I knew there was stuff that I wasn't thinking about. It's definitely on my honorable mentions list, 100%.
Yeah, I just have so many fond memories with this, and just like it was almost like a have to do for me when I was younger. You know, it's like, oh, I want to do Honey, I Shrunk the Audience because I loved the movie, you know, like the first one, and I grew up with it, and I watched it so many times I couldn't even tell you. And just to see those characters and just kind of like that was the only experience I ever had with something at that time. It wasn't that one of the first kind of shows like that. Like I never saw Captain EO.
Yeah, well, I mean, there was
Honey,
3D shows there
audience
before.
Was kind of more interactive, even like the audience
way
was
more
part of
interactive.
the show, you know. And so I just loved it so much, even though I lifted my legs up on the mousy part.
Oh, you big chicken. That's what you say. No, it was a big dog.
Oh, yeah, that was a very big dog. And of course,
and he
it
sneezes on
you.
you.
And you get wet, you get sprayed with
He was
water.
super cute.
He was so cute.
I just wanted to rub his face and
I
poppers.
know. You couldn't rub his face because you were the size of an ant.
Well, I still tried. And I ended up rubbing the lady's hair in front of me, and that was awkward.
That's so awkward.
I thought it was the dog.
You were a child, though, so I'm sure.
I was like 18.
That show wasn't there when you were 18.
I was like 14.
Okay.
I definitely have fond memories of that attraction too. Definitely remember going on it and getting a little nervous because of the snake that gets there, like the lion, and he goes out towards you. And it was a really fun attraction for its time. I remember the 3D not working the best all the time.
Yeah.
I remember, especially on the people, like they were kind of doubled. It didn't work so well.
Yeah, sometimes it didn't look the best.
Yeah, it didn't work the best all the time.
But for the time, it wasn't too bad.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I thought it was a really, really fun idea and a really fun concept. And especially because I loved the fact that the idea of the Imagination Institute crossed coast. And it was over in Orlando for a Journey into Imagination with Figment. I'm pretty sure that was involved like way after when it was the third version or something.
Yeah, that came later.
But I like how they share that universe. So much fun. Who doesn't like a really good, fun 3D attraction?
I love them.
Speaking of 3D,
Yes.
my next one, I'm pretty sure you guessed it, what was going to be on my list. We're going to go to Universal, and mine is T2 3D Battle Across Time.
What? I'm so surprised. It's like not like we devoted a whole episode to this already.
Sassy. Yes, so we already dedicated a long episode about this entire topic, going through the history and all the facts behind the attraction. So make sure to go back and listen to that. I believe it was episode 2.
I think it was.
Something like that.
Honestly, the only reason why T2 3D didn't make my list is because I felt like we talked about it a lot. So
I don't want to stop talking about it because I love it. So the ride does still exist or the attraction still does exist in Orlando, but it's not here in Hollywood anymore. It was replaced by the much hated by me Minion Mayhem, and I hate it beyond all belief with all the being of my body, like all of my strength. I hate it. I miss this attraction so much. I loved going in this. I love the action. I love the 3D. Some of the best 3D I've ever seen in my entire life. And even with it being gone and having 3D progressed, I still think it's some of the best 3D that I've ever seen. I love the mixture of live action with the screens and the animatronics and special effects. It was done so well, so unbelievably well. And I wish it was still here. I really, really do. I really wish it was something that was a staple of Universal Studios. But unfortunately, I think Hollywood is in a really bad position where it's such a small plot of land that at the time they were just really churning them out and moving rides and getting rid of things and bringing in new, fresh IPs.
Yeah, and they had a vision for that whole area, and T2 3D just didn't fit. But I miss it too, definitely. You're right. It was like, it was so impressive, even for as many years as it was there. Like, from the first time to the last time that I saw it, I was still just as impressed with that show.
Really? I mean, that seriously is the truth. It really did hold up. And for a movie that had come out years prior to have it be a pseudo sequel to, it did really hold up, albeit some of the dated stuff.
Well, yeah.
Like that we mentioned, like the Shaquille O'Neal in the video, and the technology that they used in the video wasn't quite up to snuff at the time when it got closer to its closing and things like that. But I feel like all of the gags and all of the jokes and all of the special effects really, really, really held up for the period of time that it was open.
Yep.
Which didn't feel like it was open that long.
It was around for quite a while, though.
Yeah, I mean, it just doesn't feel that long, especially because it was set in the past now,
Yeah.
So, but that was mine. I love T2 3D. Wish it was back beyond all belief.
Okay, now my next one. It's time to get out the sad violin music.
My little tiny violin plays for you, Nikki.
Okay, so my next attraction that I miss is in the same park. It's E.T.
This one I knew was coming from a mile away from when we first thought of the topic of the episode. I knew this was coming.
Honestly, this ride is the one out of anything that's ever closed that punched me in the gut the hardest. I loved this stupid little ride so much.
You're tearing up right now.
It just, oh man, I don't think a ride has ever hit me like the first time. I think it's the only ride, honestly, that I can remember the very first time I rode it. I think, a few exceptions. I remember the first time I rode Goliath because that was the first time I ever rode a roller coaster. But, just the feeling that I got when I rode that for the first time, I was the center bicycle seat in the front row. E.T. was in my basket. His little head kept popping up throughout, and I was just like, oh my god, it made my heart so happy. It just, I just can't describe the feeling. It just, the whole thing, where I know it was cheesy, the animatronics weren't that great, but, when that bicycle, took off and you, saw all the stars in the sky and everything, I've never been and I wasn't even that young when I rode it, but I've never been filled with so much wonder at a ride.
Well, that movie is very emotional.
Yeah.
The movie is extremely emotional. So when you go on this attraction, already knowing the emotion that's attached, and then placing that across these beautiful landscapes, and the idea that you're riding with E.T. across the moon and on this bike, it really puts you in the emotional state of the film.
Yeah.
Which it does very, very well.
It does.
And especially John Williams' music. How could you not get emotional with John Williams' music? We saw him play last summer and he played E.T. He played the music from E.T. And even I started to tear up. I'm like, oh God, feelings. Oh God.
Yeah, so my sad story is the year it closed, and back in the day, Universal was a once a year park. It was a thing to go, for me and my family. So I knew it was closing, and we went, and the whole day I was like, I just gotta ride ET before, today, because it's the last time.
Get your tissues, people. Get your tissues. Just warning you now. You might cry.
I just gotta ride it, and I was there with my grandparents that day, and they kept putting it off, oh, we'll get to it, oh, we'll ride this, oh, we'll go have dinner, we'll do that, and then I was like, no, we really gotta ride it, and it started raining, and they were ready to leave, for the day, and I was like, no, we gotta go ride ET, and so we're headed towards the back lot, towards the escalator, and the attendant, or the worker at the top of the escalator was like, sorry, the back lot's closed. So
tears.
There I was,
sobbing.
a very, very sad child, crying in the rain because I knew that my last chance to ride E.T. had gone forever.
Cue sad Hulk music as little Nikki walks away from the lower lot, past Doc Brown's best chicken of all time, to the exit of the park.
In my memory, I didn't even have an umbrella or poncho or anything, but I'm pretty sure that wasn't accurate.
You didn't have anything. The rain just was dropping on you, and your hair was sopping wet.
I'm pretty sure.
And you couldn't tell where you were crying because it was rain all over you, but I'm sure half of it was tears.
I'm pretty sure that's just my emotional dramatization of the event, but I was pretty devastated. But
rightfully so.
Yeah, but it's still open in Florida, and guess who's going to Florida? And it's down for refurbishment right now, but it will be back open in October.
I can't fathom how excited you are.
I'm so excited
to ride it. Like this surpasses the Hulk ride. Yeah. This surpasses the new King Kong ride. It surpasses anything Harry Potter, 100%, which is insane to me.
Yeah.
Nikki is pumped and ready. Like, she's packed and has her ET stuffed animal with her.
Front row and center. I want the ET basket.
You can have whatever you want. We'll make sure to ride it multiple times so you get your fill.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I just bought an ET stuffed animal at our City Walk here in California, and I'm going to bring him on the plane with me when we go in October.
You're gonna use him as like your little like seat belt cover to make it comfy.
Yeah.
He's the only stuffed ET that I found cute.
That's why I bought it.
Every other ET is terrifying, and they look like they're stoned and like they're trying to force eye contact with you.
Yeah, no, they're usually really like, because like, ET is a little bit of a gnarly looking alien to begin with, and he's cute, but in like a kind of way. And
in a what kind of way?
Kind of way. He's cute, but like, I don't know. And so that doesn't translate really well to stuffed animals and stuff, but they made a cute one finally, and so I bought it right away. It's
kind of like when you see a really ugly dog, you're like, you're pretty cute for being really, really fugly.
Yeah, kind of. You still want to love it, but you don't want to own it.
I like you for your personality. That's terrible. Okay.
Yeah, we should move on.
Moving forward. So mine's at Disneyland. This is also a show.
Okay.
And it's Country Bear Jamboree.
Oh.
And the good old Country BJ.
Why'd you decide to call it that?
I promised my brother I would.
Oh, okay. I knew there had to be a reason why he said that on the show.
Country Bear Jamboree was replaced by Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh, and albeit I do enjoy that attraction, I do find it to be a little subpar compared to a lot of Disney dark rides. And that makes me really sad that a quintessential attraction that still exists at the Magic Kingdom in Orlando was gotten rid of for something that's a little bit subpar, albeit, yes, the animatronics maybe were not up to snuff, but I mean, they could have kept it updated if they really wanted to.
Yeah.
But I really miss having a show like this. It's almost like an upgraded version of the Tiki Room, you know, where you have these animatronic characters that are itty bitty and the birds and flowers are singing, but then you have these bears and you have Big Al and Blood on the Saddle, like all these great songs that are really memorable.
Yeah, I get it.
You don't agree with this on my list, do you? It's my list, Nikki. No. It's my list.
Am I allowed to have an opinion, though?
No.
I'm going to tell you anyway.
Okay, you're allowed to have opinions.
It's just not my thing. It's just not...
You fell asleep during the one in Orlando.
I fell asleep in every show. Except the one where I was injured.
Every guy that turns me on turns me down.
Okay, some of the songs are a little weird. I do remember. I mean, I
don't deny that that's a really weird song.
Yeah, but it's not my thing. You know, it's like I never enjoyed the Chuck E. Cheese shows as a child.
Those are a little terrifying, though. That's a bit different. Those are a little terrifying.
It's kind of the same thing. It's just not my thing.
How dare you compare my Country Bear Jamboree to Chuck E. Cheese? Reckless abandon.
Yeah.
You don't care.
See my pants right now.
completely emotionless.
You know what?
You
know what I don't like either. Maybe this all stems from it. I don't like Bear in the Big Blue House either. That guy, he terrified me.
You actually have an irrational anger towards that show.
I do. That freaking shadow's the stupidest concept ever.
We've gone off the rails.
Oh
people.
man, I'm sorry. I went to a dark place, but I really do not like Bear in the Big Blue House or Country Bear Jamboree.
I'm sorry that you don't miss one of the attractions that I dearly miss.
Maybe I just don't like bears.
Maybe this is a revelation in your life, Nikki?
I'm having an epiphany. I like real bears. Like I wouldn't want to hug one, but I like the.
I like real bears, but I don't like.
I don't think I like fake bears.
Now we listen to this song, "The Great Outdoors," all the time. That is from the Country Bear Jamboree.
Yeah.
Do you like that song? I sing to it every time it comes on.
I don't.
It makes me so sad.
I'm sorry. I have no sentimental attachment to it.
Well, I don't have sentimental attachment to you.
Yes, you do.
That's true. I can't deny that.
You have to love me and accept my dislike of Bear in the Big Blue House.
I don't agree with you, but I accept it, and I respect your decision to dislike my choice.
Okay.
I don't like you.
Hey. Okay, fine. Are you done talking about?
Am I done talking about bears that you hate? Yes, I'm done.
Okay.
Go for it.
Okay.
Goodness gracious.
Okay, my next
Send your angry emails to themeparkduo@gmail.com.
My next one is from a different theme park altogether.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a roller coaster park. It's Six Flags Magic Mountain.
I think I know where you're going.
Do you know what I'm going with
right
now? It's Deja Vu.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't expect that.
Really?
Yeah, I was just saying you were going because I just wanted to feel
wanted to
feel like it was in on it.
I know, this one's a wild card. I knew you wouldn't see this coming, but I was genuinely sad when and I like back when this closed, I wasn't up on the news. I didn't know it was leaving. I didn't follow any blogs.
I wasn't in your life.
Gabe was not in my life yet. So I was a passive theme park fan. I wasn't a active theme park fan. So I didn't know. So it caught me completely out of the blue when I just went to the park one day and it wasn't there. And I was like
literally it was gone.
It was gone. The sign was there. There were walls up. There was no ride behind it.
I don't like this magic trick. I don't like it.
David Blaine, bring back my ride.
Damn it, David Blaine.
So it was just a shocker. And I remember, like, I just really loved that little ride. I just really loved that little ride. It was simple, but it gave you that good feeling.
Thrilling.
It was thrilling. It gave you that good feeling. And, like, I enjoyed it. It was one that I always went on every time I went to Six Flags.
Well, they just moved it to a different Six Flags park. So if you want to go travel there to go ride it, let's do it.
Okay. Which park do you know?
I don't know, but let's road trip it.
Oh, I figured that's what happened. That's what usually happens, that it just moved. But I was like, well, I can't, it's like, I'm not going any farther than Valencia. So to me, in my world, it was gone.
Valencia is a little out. Well, it's not even that far away from us. It just feels out of the way.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Sorta.
It's like we go up and down, and Valencia is a sharp right.
Pretty much. I mean, most of our life of driving in California is just up and down. And then to go right? Oh, that's too much. That is too much to go right. Do you know which way to go to Albuquerque?
Can't go left, you'll just hit the ocean.
You turn left, water. Damn it. So how many of that has been off of your list? Because you said Back to the Future, which I shared.
Yes.
And then how many have you gone through? Do you still have one more?
I have one more.
Okay, so do I. And I don't think that you're going to be able to guess what it is.
Oh.
I don't think you're going to be able to guess, and I would actually like you to try to guess.
Are you going to narrow it down for me, like park?
I'll say it's narrowed down to Knott's Berry Farm because that's where it was.
Is it the Haunted Shack?
Yeah, good guess.
I know you.
You do know me. So the Haunted Shack, home to so many incredible haunt mazes and a lot of memories for me. And actually something funny that I found out, I don't know if I mentioned on the show before, but I believe Jeff Tucker told me that the Ninja Turtles were at Knott's Berry Farm at one point. And they were in every single room of the haunted shack. And people bombarded the area.
They were roaming characters, and I guess one day they just decided to go in the haunted shack, I think he said.
Or something. I don't remember quite what it was. But I remember the story of them being in the haunted shack. And if you don't know what the haunted shack is, it was a very, very simple attraction that was at Knott's Berry Farm. And it was kind of like a house of physical illusions, if you will.
Yeah.
So they would play with gravity. So there would be like a hill of water that looked like water was going uphill. And there would be a room that was crooked so you could stand on the edge of a chair and you wouldn't fall off. But in the picture, it looks like you're tilted way over the edge of the chair and are not quite at the right angle that you should be. So it wasn't haunted per se. So it wasn't like a scary thing. It was just like the house of the weird in a way.
Yeah.
So a lot of really weird things that had to do with science and gravity and things not working right and just things were all wonky. And I just love the simplicity of that attraction. And I loved how it was one of those things that a lot of people looked past when they went to the park, unless you knew what it was.
Yeah.
And you felt like you were part of the in crowd because you were like, oh my God, the haunted shack. Let's go and check out the haunted shack. And then you would take your friends, or you would go with your family, and you would look at it, and people would just have so much fun taking pictures. And look it up. Google it. Haunted Shack at Knott's Berry Farm. You'll find so many old pictures of people standing on like the chairs and stuff, and especially during haunt, like monsters walking all crooked and stuff. That's creepy. That's awesome.
Isn't there still, like, a haunted shack? Not the haunted shack, but, like, a very, very, very similar one, like, in a ghost town on the way to Vegas?
There is, and it still operates. Yeah. So you could actually go visit it.
Yeah, I forgot what ghost town
Isn't it in Calico? Isn't it Calico on the way to...
I think it might be.
Yeah, I think it's in Calico. So funny enough, like, the ghost town in Knott's Berry Farm is called Calico, and I'm pretty sure, let me know if I'm wrong, but I thought that the ghost town on the way to Vegas was called Calico, and that's where the other one is located.
Yeah, could very well be.
Could be wrong. Yeah. But that is definitely the last one on my list, Haunted Shack, man. So many good memories.
That is a right turn from us, but I'd be willing to do that one.
What?
Go to the haunted shack.
Oh, so a right turn to go to some other Six Flag park isn't worth it, but to go to a haunted shack, you're like, oh, sure, whatever. Just as long as we go another 300 miles to get alcohol.
Of course.
By the way, I'm talking about Vegas for people who aren't aware of where we live and the directions in which we're talking about.
Vegas is right from California. I think most people know that.
Yeah, turn right. Everything is either left, right, or up or down.
Or if you want to get technical, it's east.
Yes, east. So to go to Florida, we're going to go down and to the right. Yeah?
or southeast.
Whatever.
Okay, I only have one more.
Are you going to narrow it down to a park and I can try to guess?
If you want to.
Yeah, well, yes, I want to.
It's Disney.
It's Disney.
Yeah.
Shootskis. There's a lot of attractions. It's not Rocket Rods, is it?
No.
Okay. I was going to judge you thoroughly. Is it the original Star Tours?
No.
Okay. It's not Captain EO because you had mentioned that already. Is it Swiss Family Robinson?
No. Oh, man, that's definitely an honorable mention. I miss Swiss Family Robinson so much. Like, there's nothing wrong with Tarzan, but I love seeing all the old Swiss Family Robinson stuff, like just all the stuff from the movie. I
you can hear Swiss Polka down there at least still. So.
Yeah. Okay, but no, to help you, I actually debated whether or not to put this on the list because it's very recent.
Very recent?
Yeah.
Oh, Tower of Terror?
It's the Tower of Terror. I miss it already.
That's the Disney dork in me. Excuse me, it's in California Adventure.
Well, that is why.
Not Disneyland.
That is why I said.
You said the Disneyland Resort?
Okay, mister. If you listen back, I said it's Disney.
Oh, sorry. I can't rewind our own show.
I didn't want to give away Disney California Adventure because that's pretty darn obvious then.
Yeah, that's true.
So I just said, well, I could have been talking about what's that taxi ride?
Superstar Limo?
I super miss Superstar Limo.
My God, everybody. Superstar Limo, best ride ever created. I am so sad it's gone. I love the Drew Carey animatronic and the Jackie Chan and seeing Tim Allen. Oh my God. Oh no, Golden Dreams. Totally miss Golden Dreams. Number 1 on my list.
Okay, so yeah, it's Tower of Terror.
Luigi's Flying Tires?
I'm crying. I cry every night because I miss Luigi's Flying Tires. no, but like honestly, like I was like, oh, should I even put it on my list? It's so recent. Like I literally wrote it last year.
Yeah.
But it's got to go on the list because it's not here anymore. And every time I see the Guardians Tower, even though I am pretty darn excited,
it's a painful reminder
for Mission Breakout. It's a painful reminder that it is not Tower of Terror. I won't hear that music when I walk in the building, and I won't hear the whole Tower of Terror spiel with the lightning outside and the lights going off. It's a harsh reminder that literally my favorite ride at California Adventure, the ride that I would not let Gabe miss, like every time we went there, it's gone.
Yeah, honestly, I didn't even think about it just because of how recent it was.
Yeah.
And the fact that the building still stands.
Yeah.
And it just looks a little different. Mm-hmm. For me, in my mind, it's like, it doesn't compute that it's gone.
Yeah.
And especially because Guardians, as of today's the 19th, it's going to be opening up in a week.
Yep.
That's really soon.
Yeah.
But I do agree with you that Tower of Terror was definitely one of my favorite attractions, and I am very sad that it's gone. But at least there's some solace in that because we do have a much better version of it that's in Orlando that I don't think is going to be going anywhere anytime soon, especially because it's a staple of Hollywood Studios.
Yeah, definitely. That one's not going anywhere, so that is a little spark that...
One little spark of imagination.
So
shout out to One Little Spark podcast.
It is still possible to go on it, and I like that. But
yes.
I do miss it here, and it's even though it is recent, it's still gone, and we cannot ride it, and it makes me sad.
And as you could hear in the background, our rat agrees.
Yeah.
Because he consistently drinks water while we record. He knows when we're recording, and he likes to bother us.
Seriously, it's like the only time he drinks water.
He's forcing eye contact with me right now. Now, Nikki, do you have any runners-up? Anything that didn't quite make your list, but you still really, really miss?
Yeah, I have a few. Honestly, you just reminded me about the Swiss Family Treehouse. So that's an honorable mention. Because... I do miss that, but I think the only one that didn't quite make the cut, but I would like to mention is the People Mover.
Oh, man. I really wish they would bring People Mover back.
Yeah.
Because when we went on it in Magic Kingdom, oh my goodness, we loved it.
Yeah.
I loved it so much.
Yeah.
For me, I think like the original version of Star Tours, I really, really miss Pilot Rex. Mm-hmm. And it's only a tease to see him broken in the queue for the attraction now.
Yeah.
It's such a tease. It's just a lot of fond memories with him. And pretty much like any haunt attraction, any haunt maze that's gone now from Not Scary Farm, I miss deeply.
That doesn't count.
It does too.
No.
It totally counts.
This isn't...
Lord of the Vampire, How I Miss You.
This isn't top 10 missed old haunt mazes.
It's still an attraction at a theme park.
I guess so, but it's not a year-round attraction.
That's true, but sometimes it's there for multiple years.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't think
I'm pushing it.
You are. You're pushing
it. Just to get more haunt in our lives.
Yeah.
There's enough haunt in our lives if you look at the room. But anyway, that brings us to the end of our top 5 missed closed attractions. And hope you guys enjoyed that. I mean, a little trip down memory lane for you, right?
Yeah, maybe it reminded you of a few rides that you might have forgotten or maybe it just made you really sad. And if that happened, I'm sorry.
This is a downer of an episode.
It is a little bit. I don't know.
Just think of Happy Puppies
At
in
least
Christmas
we're
time.
fun to listen to.
That's an assumption.
Oh, yeah. People listen.
Everybody that listens to the show is like, God, these people are boring.
If we're not fun to listen to, then what are you doing listening?
Because they just like to see how boring we can get.
Oh, okay.
It's Curiosity Killed the Cat, just like,
Well, should we talk about the 5-star written review that someone wrote? They must think we're so boring.
They're clearly really bored with us.
They took the time to write us a review.
Yes, let's talk about it.
Okay, so we got a new 5-star written review, and it's from Ice929383738.
Thanks for all the numbers, bro.
And it says, finally a podcast for the theme park weirdo, ...
Is he calling us weirdos?
We call ourselves weirdos.
That is true.
You know what? It's a term of endearment. I accept it. Obviously, it's something that he calls himself.
Yes.
That's fine.
And the same person actually emailed us.
Yeah, they sent us a really nice email.
At themeparkduo@gmail.com.
Yeah.
And he just basically told us how much he enjoys the show, and he told us where he is in his life, and that he's so excited to listen to the show, and that he's excited to go to Walt Disney World with his fiancée.
So congrats on getting married.
Congrats on all that. And dude, some tips from us, because we went there recently. Get the picture package. You're going to love having all the pictures back from all the attractions, all the photo pass people around Magic Kingdom and any of the other parks. You're going to love having hundreds of photos from that.
Yep.
Make sure you get the dining package, because then you don't have to worry about buying the food. You prepaid for everything. You scan, boop, you get it. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. It helps relieve a lot of stress, especially when you're with somebody else and you really want to have fun with them and you focus on spending time with them. It just really takes the ease off of thinking about one other thing, because there's so many things you have to think about.
Yep. And honestly, if you really want to milk it and get all of the congratulations and cheers and whatnot, don't hide that it's your honeymoon. Wear the shirts.
Wear
the
loud
ears,
and proud.
Wear the buttons. Because, there's nothing like just getting congratulations from not just cast members, just random people.
The characters.
The characters, but just, honestly, just people walking by, too. Other park goers. It's so much fun. It's the one time where you're like, yeah, bring all the attention on. Like, we're just celebrating.
So, quick story that I'd like to share, just because it is funny. I shared it on my last show that I had when we talked about our honeymoon trip, but we've never talked about it on this. Nikki and I wore our Mickey and Minnie bride and groom hats everywhere. We wore shirts that said we were just married. We wore everything possible that said we were just married. And we took a lot of pictures. Like I said, you should get the photo pass. We took pictures with so many characters because we wanted to take these pictures home with us.
Yeah.
And we were in line for Buzz Lightyear.
Yeah.
And in front of us, there was a couple that was there from their honeymoon too, but she forgot her ring and Buzz was giving her a hard time, miming, giving her a hard time because he can't talk because he's got a big creepy plastic face that's always smiling. Imagine that outside your dark window at night.
Oh, don't do that. You won't see.
He was giving them a hard time, so when we came up, he saw your ring and he got really excited, and he was animated and all this stuff, and it was great. It got so many memorable pictures. And we were saying goodbye, and he gives us hugs, and as he leaned in for the hug and he hugged me, he just says in my ear, "Congratulations."
Through the mesh
mouth, and I feel this warm breath on my ear, and I'm like, yeah.
And we didn't know at the time, but he also did the same thing to me when he hugged me.
It gave me the heebie-jeebies.
Yeah, and it was creepy. Like, it was just funny.
But we could not stop laughing.
And the whole rest of the trip, we just kept whispering
"Congratulations"
to each other. It just became a joke for the whole honeymoon. It was really funny. So thank you, Buzz Lightyear, that works at Magic Kingdom.
One of the many, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But yes, thank you for leaving us that wonderful 5-star written review.
We're still talking about a year later.
Yeah, right. And then for you, because you just got engaged and you're going to be spending a wonderful life with your soon-to-be wife, I think we owe you a congratulations in the Buzz Lightyear way. Don't you, Nikki?
Yeah.
Let's do it. 1, 2, 3. Congratulations. Creepy enough.
That was the creepiest thing we've ever done on the show.
I could get creepier if you want.
No.
Moving forward, thank you again for leaving us that review. And remember, everybody, if you want to leave us a 5-star review on iTunes, we would greatly appreciate that and give you a shout out here on the show. It really moves us up in the standings on iTunes, makes it easier for people to find us and enjoy the show like you are right now.
Yep.
So you can also find us on a lot of our social media. You can follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Periscope. We love periscoping from the parks and have you guys live vicariously through us, like I like to say. You can also follow us on Instagram. We post every day something interesting and fun. I like to try to get people engaged and ask questions on Instagram, things like that.
Lately, we've been posting throwback pictures from our honeymoon because it was literally a year ago.
It's a lot of memories.
I think, like, as far as, like, what we did a year ago today, the day we're filming, I think it was probably...
Recording.
What?
You said filming.
Oh. I meant, yeah, recording. A year ago to today, I think, what was it, EPCOT?
Something like that.
Yeah.
We got rained out.
I think it was EPCOT. Yeah.
But anyway, so make sure you follow us on all those platforms, Facebook, all the fun stuff. Now, Nikki, where can people follow you?
People can follow me on Twitter at NikkiM_313, and that's Nikki.
And she's reading it slow because she doesn't remember it, and she's reading it off her phone.
I honestly pull up Twitter every time we record because I forget my handle.
And then you can follow me at Laker793 on Twitter. And as always, guys, remember, there's always a great, big, beautiful tomorrow. See ya!
Thanks for riding with the theme park duo. Make sure to gather all your belongings before the end of the podcast. Bye-bye.
E.T. home phone. E.T. phone home.